friends, welcome back to iSingPOP and another story here on Snug Stories. My name is Bob, and this evening we continue to read about the adventures of Lily and the Lemur in the Lamb King's exciting and mysterious playground. This is chapter 3 of my book, Lily, the Lemur, and the Lamb King, illustrated by Keela Elm. So grab a blanket, your favorite teddy, and snuggle down. Chapter 3, The Me Tree. Lily and the Lemur looked up at a tree that stood just outside of the playground. "Shall we climb it?" suggested Lily. "I love climbing." "I prefer dangling," replied the Lemur, "and eating, if I'm honest." "I'm rubbish at climbing," said the Lamb King, his back planted against the tree. "Hooves, not really made for clinging on." "So, what's your favorite tree?" "Any tree with lots of forked branches," answered Lily. "Any tree with lots of fruit," said the Lemur. "How about you?" The Lamb King rubbed his chin, thinking. "Any tree that has room for birds," he said at last. "Lots and lots of birds." Lily looked around. "Can't see any of those," she said. "Not yet," the Lamb King chuckled, "but they'll be here soon enough." "You'll see." And that was when the Lemur pointed at the tree and shouted, "Nuts! Look, it's not fruit, but it's food, and that's good enough for me." Up the trunk he clambered, along a branch he skipped, then he grabbed an overhanging nut and popped it into his mouth. "I wouldn't do that," said the Lamb King. "Why not?" asked Lily. "Yeah, shall, I know," the Lemur mumbled, his mouth full. "I have very strong teeth." "It's not that," the Lamb King replied. "It's because there's somebody in there." "What?" cried the Lemur, spitting the nut into his hand. "Open it," said the Lamb King. "Have a look." The Lemur pulled apart the shell, and sure enough, there was a tiny man inside. He wore a tiny suit. He sported a tiny tie. And when he spotted the Lemur, he crossed his tiny arms in annoyance. Then the tiny man turned his back. "What's he doing in there?" said the Lemur, climbing down so that Lily could look at the little man too. "This is a me tree," said the Lamb King. A me tree?" asked Lily. "Some people think only about themselves," explained the Lamb King. "They're selfish, and their whole life is dedicated to putting themselves first and getting what they want." "So is that what's going on with this little guy?" asked the Lemur. "Possibly," the Lamb King replied. "But selfishness is not the only reason people end up in a me tree. Sometimes it's because they've been hurt and they don't trust anybody anymore. Whatever the reason, what they don't realize is that this makes their lives smaller and smaller until they're all alone," said Lily. "Yes," sighed the Lamb King, "with a shell around them, made hard by their selfishness or by their sorrows." "That's sad," Lily said. "It is," agreed the Lamb King, taking the shell from the Lemur and gently closing it back up again, particularly when, like this little man, they can't even see it. "But there is a different kind of tree, the kind I meant to show you. Follow me." The Lamb King opened the gate to the playground, and in they all went. Two families had just finished their picnic lunch. As they walked away chatting, the Lamb King led Lily and the Lemur to the spot the family had left behind. "Still can't see that tree," said Lily. "All we need is a seed," the Lamb King replied. "And look, there's one here on the ground." That's a sesame seed," said the Lemur, "on a bit of burger bun." "Which makes it perfect," cried the Lamb King. "You see, one of those families was new in town, and the other family invited them to join their picnic, to welcome them, to get to know them." "And you know this how?" asked the Lemur. The Lamb King smiled. "I have very good hearing." Then he planted the seed, and immediately it began to grow. Up and up it shot, its branches spreading wider as it went, like arms reaching out to the sky. And when it had finished growing, when it was big and bushy and broad, that was when the birds came. Flocks of them, settling into the branches and calling out with a great cawing chorus. "Cockerels and peacocks," shouted Lily. "Sparrows and swallows, blackbirds and mockingbirds and robins." "Every kind of bird," the Lamb King grinned. "And strangely, a flying squirrel," noted the lemur. Everyone welcome, everyone at home. That's the kind of tree I like, said the Lamb King. So, what do we do with the little guy in the nut? Asked the lemur. We leave him here, suggested the Lamb King, attaching the nut, they couldn't see how, to a low-hanging branch. We take him from the me tree and put him in, what should we call it? The we tree. And maybe on this tree, he will start to grow again and find his way out. So, said Lily, looking up at the we tree, can I climb it? High as you like, grinned the Lamb King. And I'd rather like to meet that squirrel, said the lemur, clambering up the trunk. Why not? The Lamb King smiled. There's room in this tree for everyone. The end. What do you think is going to happen next for Lily and the lemur? Tune in next week to find out. If you'd like your own copy of this book, you can buy it from the Good Book Company or from Amazon. Join me next Friday for Chapter 4 of Lily, the Lemur, and the Lamb King. And you can join the iSingPOP team on Monday for plenty more iSingPOP fun. Good night, everyone. Sleep well.